Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Today we're going to be talking about every movie and TV show I watched last week, which I had a pretty great week of watches last week, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. First things first, I will let you guys know that I watched two documentaries, last week, and I am undecided on whether I want to be adding documentaries to my Google Sheets, because not every documentary obviously is rated by critic scores, right? And I don't know if I really want to add some of those. Most of them, well, not most of them, but some of them also aren't on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or Letterboxd. So yeah, but nonetheless, I'm gonna let you guys know right now that I watched, like I said, two documentaries last week. I watched the LA Kings 2014 and 2012 Stanley Cup Championship documentaries, which I've been watching for years. Every couple of years, really, I go through them in high school and in college. I had gone through and watched those two documentaries countless times. I absolutely love them, and I became big fans of the organization for the LA Kings when watching those. And I used to be a big fan of watching some old NHL Stanley Cup documentaries. So with that being said, let's get into the movies of the week. So my least favorite watch of the week is a new movie called The Pale Blue Eye, starring Christian Bale and Harry Melling. I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. I ranked it a 60 out of 100, so I think it was a decent film, but I don't think it's anything special. It just wasn't really for me, although some pretty great performances, especially from Harry Melling, and it's a unique story, I feel, as well. But with that being said, everything else I watched this week was fantastic. So moving on to The Imitation Game, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, which I ranked at 85 out of 100, which was great. And then every other movie from this point out is either amazing or perfect. So again, I had a really great week of watches. This probably averages out to one of my highest rated weeks, I would imagine. So with that being said, we'll move on to a 2022 release, which I finally watched for the first time, which is All Quiet on the Western Front. And I only realized like halfway through the movie that it wasn't in the English language and that it was dubbed, which I didn't even realize. But nonetheless, a fantastic movie. Some of the best cinematography of 22. A great score as well. Some really great acting and a very brutal depiction of war. But it was fantastic nonetheless. Like I said, a 90 out of 100, which was amazing. And then moving on to another 2022 release, which I had not watched, which was Apollo 10 and a half, which I ranked a 91 out of 100. Really amazing movie as well. Really unique and fun animation that I really liked. And I really liked that half of the movie is basically just what it was like to grow up in the 60s, which just seemed like a fun time to grow up. And it was really cool. I thought it was kind of like almost like a documentary in a space town, which was pretty cool. So that was really interesting. Moving on to Glass Onion, which I rewatched. So I've watched Knives Out and Glass Onion. I watched Knives Out once, but I watched Glass Onion twice in this past week. In the past like 10 days, I'd watched Glass Onion twice and Knives Out once. But yeah, Glass Onion, I actually raised from a 94 out of 100 to a 95 out of 100. I think this is a really amazing movie, and I've seen people been hating on it a little bit over the past week. In my opinion, I don't really have any flaws with it. So with that being said, we'll move on to my top three of the week, which are actually all 100 out of 100. But with that being said, we'll start off with Knives Out. I love this movie. I raised it from a 97 to a 100. There's nothing wrong with this movie, in my opinion. And I think similarly, with Glass Onion, I think if I rewatch it again, it might get raised even higher, to be fair. So, in my opinion, Knives Out is a perfect movie, and I absolutely love it. A fantastic score, screenplay, script, directing, cinematography. It's fantastic. Everything about that movie is fantastic. Then moving on to one of my favorite animated movies of all time, which is Tangled. I absolutely love Tangled. I went through a big phase in college where I watched Tangled. I think I honestly watched Tangled like 6 times in a month. I was absolutely just enthralled by that movie. I've always been a big fan of Tangled, and like I said, one of my favorite animation movies of all time, and I've also ranked it a 100 out of 100. Absolutely love it, and it's fantastic. And with that being said, on to my favorite watch of the week, which absolutely mesmerized me. I have The Whale, which is a 100 out of 100 for me. Again, a first time watch from 2022, and it was fantastic. I watched it last night in theaters, and it was absolutely incredible. I loved it so, so much. It was beautiful, and I honestly think it might be one of the best movies I've ever seen, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't get many movies where it's a first time watch and it's 100 right off the bat. There's only really been a handful of movies like that, so I think I'm definitely going to go see it again eventually, or maybe wait for it to be on streaming services. But nonetheless, it is absolutely incredible, and I strongly urge everyone to go see it because the performances in that movie from absolutely everyone is incredible, and it's so worth a watch. It is beautiful, a fantastic movie. So, with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Let me know some of your favorite movies from 2022, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.